Hey, 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 beautiful souls. Happy season of rebirth to you. Thank you all so much for mothering yourself through all the heartache that you have mothered yourself through. You have mustered up so much courage, and look at you breaking your dreams through into your experience in the now. Welcome. My name's lisalyle. This is my heart here on YouTube, an offering of love to the eternal collective stream. Thank you all so much for being here because I trust that your journey is similar to mine and you are doing somewhat of the same thing. So well done. Kudos. It feels like a celebratory energy about today. Hey, brother, welcome. Thank you so much for showing up and holding the space. It's such a beautiful time we're in. I trust that you're feeling it over there in Serbia. Milos, how you doing? How are you doing? You let me know while I get this Palo Santo going, and then we're going to talk. And it's not going to be a lot of astrology talk today. I was very guided to just sit in the energies. We've it's a lot. It's a lot, and you know what? We're not lost. So that's a good thing because we found ourselves again. Yay! Yay us! Well done. And at this time, I'd like to ask that I'm a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving and kind, to support our experience of eternal love in this lifetime, to reestablish, or not even reestablish, to reignite the light of passion, of a zest for life in our lives. And we're so supported. I'm so hyped too. Yay! Thank you for coming here to ground me. Thank you for coming here to ground me. 22 years ago today, I was probably gazing upon my fresh new baby boy. And I'm super excited because he's on his way home today. He's going to make it home for his birthday. So today, my focus, I've already baked this morning some of his favorite bounty buns, blueberry bounty buns. And he's requested what he wants for dinner. Not really my thing, but you know what? We'll do it. It's his day. And my intention is just to freshen up his room all day, his part of the nest. And I'm super excited to have him home for a few days as I wrap up my vacation, which has been a time, it's been a really wondrous time. And I guess that is where the hype comes from for us, because it's almost like we have rediscovered ourselves. I haven't felt more like myself in a very, very, very long time. And how did we get here? Well, we got here with a lot of faith, a lot of determination, a lot of courage, and a lot of support from the spiritual realms. From the spiritual realms. We're new. Milos, have you happened to were you here yesterday where I showed what I found? This is a tektite. I found this at the lake 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So we're going to start again with the magic and wonder of the time because it feels very important. And whoa. And for those who weren't here yesterday, I'm going to go into this because another layer of this that I had forgotten about came through last night. I was reminded of it. So this is a tektite. Tektite is an otherworldly object. I have never, in all my decades of beachcombing, found a meteorite. And not only did I find one, but I found a whole shell full of them. And this is really speaking about, for me personally, and maybe you can relate somewhere in your life, because I can only share the magic and wonder of my personal experience. And my personal experience has been one of walking a path of personal responsibility for the way I feel, the way I operate, the way I show up for myself, and the way I show up in the world. And that's what we're all here for, ultimately. It's like growing up. And so when I reflect back on, 22 years ago, having given birth to my son, and, in that time, the amount of growing up, in becoming a mother to my son, uh, the gift is mothering myself as well. And as a mother, did I make mistakes along the way? Heck, did I ever? Things I swore I would never do, experiences I swore my child would never have to experience. Sadly and unfortunately, some patterns were repeated, and patterns get repeated until we break them. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be his mom, and in turn to mother myself back to wholeness. And that's our role and responsibility in this life as adults. Yeah, and yeah, thank you for saying that, Milos. I do understand, and that is how I have healed, in those places where I felt guilt about his experience, through, again, my own healing. I have come to remember that, we all choose our experience. And within the experience, we all have choices to make, and we're all working through karma and all of that. And yet, the fundamentals for you and I, divine humans, is we have to process it, if you will, through our human experience, so that we can go forward and fulfill our planetary mission to to experience soul fulfillment and what it is that we came here for, which is the enjoyment of life. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Milos. So for those of you who were here yesterday, you may remember. So for me, 2025, I have to be completely honest. And those of you who have been traveling with me for quite some time know I've never really been one to focus on connection. I've never really, I believe we're all soulmates for one another, positive or negative. Everything supports our spiritual development. And this year, I have been so focused on my own wishes and dreams. I've been so eagle-eye focused on the experience of divine love. And I feel it in the field. And every day it just gets stronger and stronger, And so it's nice to, yes, I've realized I'm worthy too. And I'm worthy, and we have to grow ourselves up and fill ourselves up from the inside. We are worthy of our wishes and dreams coming true. And so there is this real energy. I'm grateful for this Tektite find, because as otherworldly as it is, just like this image, as otherworldly as it is, it's so grounding. It's so grounding, and it feels like a gift from the divine to support the transition at this time. So after I found this, I was guided to, when I went to bed that night, which was Tuesday night, when I went to bed, I was reminded of this image. And I had commissioned a piece of intuitive art back in 2018, November of that year or October of that year. So I was reminded of this image. This image arrived. So the person that did it for me lives in Germany, Feather Wing Creations. And it arrived to me in November of 2018. We were away on a hockey tournament. We were in room 222 for the second time in a row on these out-of-town hockey tournaments, in a room 222. And this arrived. And Frank was still alive at that time. He was there. He was there with us. And the boys won that tournament. It was nice. And it was his last tournament, because a month to the day after I received this, he passed away. There for breakfast, gone by lunch. And, at the time of receiving this, and especially after he died, I really tried to connect this to him and us, and the message on the back says, the intuitive message that came through, the channeled message, is a cosmic contract from an angelic dimension reveals an encrypted message, a message of golden light, remembering your life task. So if that wasn't enough, and we can see in here, I see all these like shooting stars coming in, and you can see they're pink and blue, divine truth and unconditional love, soul love. And then the 4 healing stars up in the corner. And over here on this side, I've always seen this or felt this as Jupiter, the planet of expansion. Jupiter now settled into the sign of Cancer, and will be there until June of 2026. And this one little heart here. And in recent days, I've been guided to acknowledge that this is my heart, and that the seed of truth of divine love was planted and seeded long before the experience of this lifetime, which, with the exception of, highlights has been an experience of highs and lows, really, really, really lows, 21 there. And it gets us to this point. So my point with this is, 3 weeks after Frank passed, the lady that created this out of the blue reached out to me via message and said, I have a message for you from Frank. She didn't know Frank. We weren't friends on social media or anything like this. She says, it's the weirdest thing, and I have to share it to you, share it with you. And so while she was brushing her teeth, 3 weeks after he passed, she was brushing her teeth, and he came through, and he came to her to ask her to pass a message on to me that he was so proud of me, and he loved me so much. And so she shared that with me. And what you don't understand here, or what the piece that you haven't got yet, is the week before Frank passed away, there was only one present from Frank under the Christmas tree that year. And it was for my son. And the way that came about, it was a week before he transitioned. It was 6 days before he transitioned. It was a Saturday. And we could tell he wasn't feeling well. He was huffing and puffing a lot and really short of breath. And he just hadn't been himself for a little bit. And he was really looking forward to just getting through the last day of work. On the 21st, the day he died, was the last day of work. He would have been off for 2 weeks at that point in time. So the week before he passed, he was huffing and puffing, and, we were kind of jostling and teasing him a little bit, my son and I, saying, what's up with you, big guy? Come on, like, get moving. We got, we hadn't done anything for the holidays yet. So the plan is he was going to go out and grab a few gifts, and which, to send to his family. And my son and I were going to go out and pick out a tree to bring home. So we went on our journeys and did that. And when my son and I got home, there was one present, one box. It was nicely wrapped, 1441 there. It was nicely wrapped. And I'm like, well, what's that? Who's that for? And he's like, it's for Jacoby. And I'm like, Jacoby, what is it? And he's like, I'm not telling. And I said, what do you mean you're not telling? Tell me, what is it? And he's like, no, I'm not telling. And so we got the tree up, and this gift sat under the tree amongst the others. And then he passed on the 21st. And on Christmas Eve, no, it was Christmas morning. So my son was, after Frank died, my son was very excited to open this gift and see what it was. And so I told him it couldn't be his Christmas Eve gift. Leave it for Christmas morning. And so he did. And he opened it up Christmas morning. And it was one of those electric toothbrushes, like the Sonicare or whatever, electric water pick toothbrush. And when, like, it's funny because I laugh at it after, because I could never ask him why or anything like this. But it was like every morning I was like, don't forget to brush your teeth. Make sure you brush your teeth. I was always on about the teeth, because I've had so much issues with my own. So it was kind of funny. And the fact that this woman across on the other side of the planet has a visit from him while she's brushing her teeth, it speaks of the magic that's at play and how interconnected we are. And when this image came through 7 years ago, 7, the chariot energy, moving onwards and upwards, we have healed, we've leveled up. And now it's like there's this celebratory energy of justice, divine justice, karmic rewards. God's plan will not be thwarted. And so, yeah, that's what I'm feeling today. I'm just feeling there's a bit of a slower movement. We're on the other side of the Taurus full moon. We're still in the energetics of it all. And as I said, I wasn't really guided to tune into too much else of what's going on in the astrology, because my team is really saying, like, focus on the I heard numerology, but it's almost like stay focused on the mission, the vision, the quest, right? And maintain your zest for life. Like, what fires you up? The question or the message that came through earlier today is, in a world full of choices, make the ones that feel right for you, that fill you up, that get you excited about life. Because you can't go wrong if you're excited about life, right? And even if life doesn't turn out the way that we envision, or, it's like the things we think we know, all of this, even if it doesn't, it's going to be better, because our vision is pretty fantastical, right? I mean, I've always had a very fantastical vision. And I've, in my 55 years on this planet, this year, I've never been more focused and honed in on the vision, the sacred vision that has been within since I was a little girl. Like, wishes and dreams coming true. Do you feel worthy of your wishes and dreams? Because that's the really determining factor, right? It's our ability to overcome and conquer fear and transform our fear into love. Transform our pain. As the alchemist, we transform our pain into love. We've played in the shadow, and we will continue to play in the shadow, right? Because you and I here are here in service to the greatest and highest good of humanity, HUE. And that doesn't just mean in our lifetime. What we do here in this lifetime, we seed it for all time, right? Beyond time, beyond the mind. And so, like, why not? Why not go for it? Go for absolutely everything. Because the only thing stopping us is our belief about ourselves, our feelings about ourselves, what we feel worthy of. And worth is a big one to overcome. And where does worth reside? In the body, in the sacral chakra, the space between our hips. So much distortion in this area. So much healing. This is where, this is the deep, right? If you're here in the shadow plane in the deep, this is the area that, we must clean sweep in order for the reunion, sacred union, to take place. For those who missed last night, this was the little message that came through 10, 10, 10. Love one, dear sweet child of light, live your best life. What is meant for you, love, is not behind you. Right here and now, presently, love is you. Love renewed, because we reignited the light of love, divine love, source love from within. Well done. Love as sweet as honey. Bzzz. Bee sounding breath. Bee sounding breath helps to activate the high heart, the thymus gland, and some tapping. Never rub that area. Do not rub your thymus gland. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Goes the beat of your sacred drum. Oh, it was 2112 there. Of course it was. Are you ready to live your best life? I got to check in with Milos here. He's so wise, and very rarely do we have masculine energy engaging here. And I'm so grateful when the masculine shows up, because it really does, I'm like, woo, like little fairy. And so, although I'm deeply grounded as well, I love the balance. So thank you, Milos. Let's see. Thank you for birthday wishes for my boy. I will pass it on. Yeah, we shouldn't feel like ourselves. We're completely different. Milo says he hasn't felt like himself, period. I know, me either. And yes, it does feel very protective. You should have seen me. I was what do they call it? Gobsmacked, when I'm like, no. And then I was like, okay, it's probably just a shiny piece of shale or something like that. But tektites are very light. This is light. There's no weight to it. So there's no mistaking it's otherworldly. And it feels very protective, and it feels very grounding. I'm really grateful. I feel so who the heck are we? Who am I? Who are you? I don't know. We're meeting the real self. And, it's funny because I guess the truth is we're beginning to see ourselves as the spiritual realm see us. We're just a beautiful, bright light, sheer radiance, right? The spark of the divine, God spark. And, the God spark of creation in the womb space. Oh my gosh, we are so... I feel like zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. What a wonderful day when we show up and play. I was hearing earlier, come out, wherever you are. Remember when you used to play tag when you were young? Well, we used to say here, ollie, ollie, oxen free. Whatever that means, ollie, ollie, oxen free. I just heard it today, and it was like, we're free. We did it. We are free at last. Or are you? Are you still in that devil energy? Are you still in the devil energy, bound to karmics? Or are you in the etheric realms, bound to the divine, to the destined experience of a lifetime? Yeah, yesterday I shared my silly, I remember in the 80s, there was a movie, I think it was called Warriors. I don't know if it was or if it wasn't. I got turned off of movies very young because I was mostly frightened by most of what I saw. It was oh, it's scary. It's not nice. And, it didn't have me feeling good on the inside. So, I avoided most of it. But it was I think it was called Warriors. And one of the gangs, it was all gangs, I think. And one of them was coming out from under a bridge or something. And they had 3 beer bottles on their hands, and they're tapping the beer bottles. And I remember the tapping, and they're like, warriors, come out to play. warriors. And the guy was freaking crazy. The more I'm getting into it, I'm like, yeah, he was scary. So anyways, we're the spiritual warriors. We're the ones that overcame all of our fears, right? We rose above, we conquered those demons, we slayed those dragons, and now we're riding on the back of our imagination dragon, living the life of our dreams, knowing that we are so worthy and so relevant here in this life. The world needs our light. Yeah, it's speaking about a radical shift in the vibration. And where does the shift take place? If we change the insides, yesterday I had the opportunity to gift a beautiful sister of my heart a sound bath, and was really guided to do it. I didn't think I would be doing it. I haven't done that in my home space in a long time. And even collectively, I guess coming here sort of sometimes. But and at the end of it all, she's like, oh my gosh, that was the coolest experience. And she felt like the frequency coming in, and she was just, she never opened her eyes through the experience. And she's explained to me after, she's like, Lisa, I felt like she could see the vibration moving through and helping to clear out what she was seeking to release. And this is really how powerful we are. And, some of us who are so powerful, like, who do we go to for support? Where do we get our support? And currently, for the most part, mine comes from the spiritual realms. And it comes from my ability to allow Lisa, the human, to rest so that I may receive what I need in order to continue to fulfill what it is that I'm here to do. And it's the same for all of us, right? The world is worthy of your dreams. Yes. And Milo says that the meteorite, the tektite, burns, so therefore it must have a very purifying energy. Yeah. And, it feels like a beautiful gift to receive after the cleansing and purifying the fires of transformation that we have walked through. I don't know about you. I've certainly walked through, some fires this year. And what has been the most constant and burning is the desire, the soul fire, the desire to for more, right? Like, I've got it all. I've got a great life. I'm really lucky. I'm lucky to be alive, for goodness sakes. And yet there's still the dream, union, family, community, harmony, joviality, joviality, nobility. I'm not going to say silly things. Yesterday, I was wearing a moose onesie. I came here, and the first thing out of my mouth is like, oh, I found this moose woody. I was trying to say onesie, and then I called it a hoodie. And then I complained later in the broadcast that it was not even a hoodie. The one problem with it is it didn't have a hood. So, there is this like kind of silly, yeah, all right. Someone commented on that video, oh my gosh, Lisa, not even a minute in and you've got me laughing, Moose Woody. Oh, like ridiculous. So can we be okay? I think this is the point, Milos, with this and the purifying energy. We have changed, right? And at the time that this came in, on the day, the eve of the full moon, after what feels like an endless amount of unloading, of clearing, of decluttering, of cleaning up, of chop, cutting energies out of our life, cutting people off. It's been a little bit on an energetic level, a bit of a ruthless kind of a year, like ruthless in our commitment to ourselves. I don't mean ruthless as in bad, or we're not being integral, or we're not being honest. We're being brutally honest. And it's like radical transformation because we chose. We know the destination has always been the heart. That's home, that beats in us. And, there's for sure, there's someone out there for us that's got a similar beat, or that can, support the harmony, the harmonization, holding the space, the anchoring in. They're showing me like, what I'm hearing, they're not really showing me. What I'm seeing is pillars, and I heard Ark of the Covenant, the sacred covenant of the heart, uncovering it and making a fresh start, free from everything that came before. By the way, I finally lost weight recently when I accepted I'm worthy. Milos, that's beautiful. I had a similar experience. Like in the last few years, in the last couple of years, I've come back to like a normal size, like where I've been for a lot of my adult life. Maybe not as tight in tone, but that's okay because my soul calls this beautiful body home. And, this body, I'm grateful for this body. And, the fact we're still here. But yeah, in the last couple of years, I probably lost 50 pounds and not really, I wasn't dieting or anything to do it. I was just moving more. I was like beginning to recover after what had been, a very traumatizing time in my son and I's life. And initially, the whole focus was my son and helping him through that transition. And in that space, I almost kind of lost myself. And I almost kind of killed myself. Not intentionally, of course. So, yeah. I'm happy for you, Milos. Congratulations on returning to a space of worthiness in your experience. I absolutely love you, brother. I'm so glad that the stars aligned and reestablished our connection in this life, because there is no doubt we are soul family. So maybe one day we'll get to meet and hug in the flesh. You know what I mean? Brahmari. Is that life force energy? Brahmari? Brahmari? The bee thing. Oh, the bee sounding breath. Yeah. Zzz. You remember your demon saying, come out to play? And this is what the warrior does, right? The peaceful warrior. Because what are we fighting for? We're not fighting because we want like war. We are actually fighting to reestablish peace in our experience. I've got the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Where? My heart. Where? Down in my heart. I've got the peace that passes understanding, right? Like, what? Why not? What is being like, what is the unrest? What does that do for us? Creates dis-ease. Creating dis-ease in the experience. I'm not here for that. Sorry. I'm looking for more ease in the experience. And as a result, I'm experiencing more ease in the experience. 3333. Co-creating with the divine. It feels like at this time, there is a call for us to reestablish our connection to the things that we enjoy doing. And so I believe it was Sunday I mentioned here, I'm not much. I've mentioned it here quite a bit. I'm not, cooking. It's like the bane of my existence. Da, 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 da. And I'm a good cook. I'm a good cook. I just don't, it's challenging to cook for one, I'll say. Especially when you don't have freezer space to freeze stuff and all this kind of stuff. This week, all kinds of points for me. I have been in the kitchen every day. I've baked a banana nut loaf. I made a chickpea, Moroccan sweet potato, lentil, and chickpea stew yesterday. For the birthday boy, is his arrival home. I've made his favorite treat. I call them blueberry bounty buns, but they're like big blueberry oat cookies. And so, this is it. Like, can we show up for ourselves? Can we get back to it? Like, no conditions. What are we waiting for? What am I waiting for? A big army to cook for? Well, I don't have an army to cook for. There, so it's like just doing what we can, nourishing ourselves slowly, taking step by step. Ooh, baby, we're going to make breakthroughs into this world. Yeah, and the demons are still around, right? Like there is a lot of nefarious energy at foot. And yet ultimately what I keep coming back to is they don't know who they're messing with. Like you can't, those of us who are spiritually focused, guided, connected, like those lower vibrations only have a hold over us or any sort of power if we allow. And when we make the break free, when we break free from these energies that don't have our greatest and highest good, when we break free from them, they hold no power. It's ridiculous. Like it's really ridiculous. And we're not here to go back. And so the Tektite arrived to support the prosperous new beginning, the thrive, the rise, unified. Why do they give me these solidified? Like solidarity, loyalty, a commitment to ourself. That was something that came up today. Did I write that down? Oh, maybe. I think it's the title of this live. Change, confidence, and commitment. Right? The sacred covenant. Yeah. And that's the thing. Thanks for saying that, Milos. It takes a strong and wise man to, like to admit a mistake, to admit a misjudgment. And it doesn't even really matter. It's evident in the growth, right? Sometimes we hold ourselves back because, we don't know. We don't know. And I would say if spirit's guiding you in a direction and it feels good and it feels peaceful and there's like excitement and there's like, yeah, mostly excitement, go. And if you've been sowing the inner seeds, you've been doing the work, you've been plowing the field, you've been, what do they call that? Shoot. When is it plowing? Is it plowing when they're turning over the soil? With the oxen and anyways, you've turned over the soil and, you've given up what doesn't serve, what's not filling your cup. And now you are being, it's almost like this composting energy, right? We give it to the earth and we are restored through our connection to the earth. And that's where new growth. So you are the fertile soil for new growth. I heard fertile myrtle, fertile myrtle, fertile Milos, fertile Lisa, right? We're fertile. And the ego wants to stop us, right? Because as we're getting close, those tricky little things that says, no, you're not good enough for that. Remember who you are. And then the voice of love, the voice of reason, the higher self says, oh, yes, you are. You are remembering and you are rolling towards. You took a shot on life. You took a shot on yourself. You rolled the dice and it's a lucky strike. Hey, better. Oh, yeah. And the ego, and the ego in balance means we take action, right? Free will choice. We allow the divine. It's like the balanced ego is operating from the solar plexus, taking action, right? Imbalance in the ego is when we're very much in the mind. We're like stuck there. We're not moving. So in order to do that, maybe gently tip your chin towards your heart and breathe Place your hand on your belly and feel where the real point of power is. Hand on your belly, hand on your heart, right? Because we are here for the fresh start. This is that 10 energy. The wheel turns. Chugga, 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 choo, choo. Remember when you were young? Did you guys do that? Like, go like this. You'd see a transport truck drive by and you'd be like this for them to honk their horn. Would they even know what we were doing anymore? So yeah, toot your own horn. I guess that's what they're saying to me there. Toot your own horn. Chugga, 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 chugga. We are the little trains that did it. Yay! Toot, toot. Or quack, quack. I don't know. I'm feeling wiggity whack. I do know that. I'm feeling wiggity whack. So let's see what else Milo said here. It came to filter the debris. Yeah. And speaking of filtering the debris, it feels like our liver does need a little bit of support these days. Because that is, the filter in the body, right? It's our lizard's tail. Let's support the liver. Virgos are fighting for world domination because, let's face it, we know best. I think the lesson for Virgo, okay, let's say this. We are innately intelligent. Innately intelligent doesn't mean we're book smart or anything. Doesn't mean we have all these degrees hanging on the wall or anything like that. I feel the real challenge for Virgo, as a Virgo sun, is I have always felt like I was often right in a lot of things. And in many cases, I was. And yet, oftentimes, what this Virgo did is disregarded the voice inside, went against what she knew was right, went against her better judgment. The eternal optimist, right? And so I feel for this Virgo, the real fight has been for the soul to override the experience in this life and not the ego. And every time I let my ego guide, it really shut me off from life. Even in the admittance of mistakes along the way, sometimes I just didn't want to admit that I made a mistake because I was so, whether it was embarrassed or ashamed or, something really bad happened to me in that choice that I made. So sometimes we keep ourselves stuck. And, ultimately through our connection to source, we get unstuck. We fill our own cup. We remember that we are the vessel of love, the vessel, the spark of source, who is eternally loved. We are the beloved child of source. And as a result, and as a reward for all that we have overcome, it's like source wants to pour into us, like wants to stream to us our wishes and dreams. Are you ready to receive? That's the question. That's the challenge for the Virgo, to not think. Some people need to think about things. I prefer, the older I get, it's like my brain, and in my brain, some things hurt my brain. And I've had an image in the last few days because as I said, Milos, it's nice to have you here because you're that balancing, complementary energy. Feminine, you're the masculine. And in recent days, I've had, because I've been like just, skipping through the galaxies, like sliding down my own rainbows and all this kind of stuff, and just having fun with life again, like remembering who I am and freaking how powerful I am. I forgot there for a while. I forgot. And I will never forget again who I am and why I'm here. And but in recent days, I've had the visual. Frank used to do this thing because I'd be off on, like I do here with all of you, some magical adventure and sharing it, or, he just wouldn't understand, or I'd say something that was absolutely ludicrous. And he always did this thing like, oh, woman. I love that I had that effect on him. Yeah. And because it's fun. I mean, it was just in jest, right? It was like, when we are who we are, when we allow people to see us for who we are, then life is great because there's nothing to hide. And for the first time since Frank died, I feel like I am who I am. He loved who I am. He still does. And he's got other people up there as well. He's connected with others who love me as well, and working in tandem with, supporting things that are meant to unfold, take place here, divine contracts being fulfilled with angelic dimensions. Are we earth angels? I don't know. What are we? Who are we? Beautiful children of God is who we are. Humans, HUE, with a beating heart. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why I'm doing that. Stirring the pot. Come out wherever you are. We deserve it all. I'm playing. It's like, you guys, I don't know. I'm playing with my imaginary friends. I had imaginary friends. Everybody knew about my imaginary friends. I guess I still do because most people can't see them. Okay, so let's pull a couple of cards, and then I gotta run out and get some stuff I need for the arrival of the cub and, well, the little fledgling back into the nest. He's not a fledgling. He's good. So we are Borg. What's Borg? Like a cyborg? Like a unicorn? Like, is a Borg a cyborg? I don't know. What is that? I don't like scary things. Oh, Star Trek. Yeah, but you know what? Star Trek freaked me out. It was another one of these shows. It wasn't I didn't watch the television show, but the movies. And I remember clearly it was the movie The Wrath of Khan. And there was some part in that movie I didn't like it. And it was like somebody had they put a bug or something in the helmet and then put it on someone, and the bug was going into the ear. I'm sorry, but that kind of stuff freaks me out. And, like, even I did a lot of clearing for any energetic attachments to me or the time when I had my ears pierced. It was so weird. I was really strongly guided to do it because it was like some interference. So I don't know much about Star Trek. I know it. Ugh. It. Yeah, no swampy it things around me, please. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't sleep with those scary movies. And I think from a young age, I was exposed to a lot of like stuff that really wasn't appropriate for a child of my age, not to mention all the other stuff that was going on. I was a child of the 70s, right? Women were finding their power apparently with the feminist movement and, leaving husbands and broken homes and all that kind of stuff. So, things like I like to watch feel good things like Little House on the Prairie. Little House on the Prairie. I wanted to live in Walnut Grove, and riding in a covered wagon with Pa by my side, right? A little half pint. That was my jam. That was kind of my stuff. Foolish, maybe. Still would be my choice today. So, okay, let's pull us some cards. We're going to go with, let's see if we can get one from here. And this is the Secret Language of Light Oracle. Let's get one from here. Oh my God. It's like the Olympic torch. This is what I'm feeling with this card. It's like the Olympic torch, right? It's the 32. It's the divine masculine. How perfect, which is a number 5. And in order for us to not short circuit and to stunt our own growth in this life, we must propel the forward movement. We must make the choice to change, right? 5 is that change energy. And it's freaking uncomfortable if you don't change. And the mind will want us to stay the same. The heart wants the change. The heart wants the expansion. The body wants the expansion. Everything wants the expansion. But the mind says, oh, no, 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 no. Remember the last time? If you're still there, then continue with the healing journey. Continue until you make the break through or free. So you're not remembering the last time. Because remember, don't remember the last time, but remember this. What is meant for you is not behind you. Or it would be right here with you, right? So the divine masculine, it feels like, yay, celebrate, you did it. You did it. You're winning. You are the lucky winner. Ding, 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 ding. Where's that with that game? They take the hammer and it hits the bell. Yeah, you're the lucky winner. You've been chopping wood, carrying water, breathing nice and deep and good. You're so, you've done it. And now it's time to come out and play. Living life your way. The lotus has risen up from the depths. And now it feels like we're ready to, we've burnt away the other day, this week, there was like ice. It's time to thaw out like the ice, and look at that fire and ice. Ooh, passion, the fire in the belly, the new growth of the flower of life. It's like victory circle. Love has won. Hop, skip, and run. And this feels, like a new beginning. It does feel like an Olympic torch in there. It's like saying, yeah, we've all run the marathon. We made the changes. And you won. You won. We won. Yay, us. How fun. That's great. I love that this came out. Holding space, right? And, here it's Milos and I holding the space of the feminine and the masculine. I thought it was going to be a short thing, but, with someone holding space for you, making it ease in the experience, it's like, oh, here we are. Oh, enlightened. And that, like, there's this idea, because this idea can be, like rather egocentric. And we see it a lot in the spiritual community, right? Like the guru. And there's been a lot of abuse of perceived egoic positions of power within the spiritual community, right? Within the spiritual community, there's a lot of distorted sexual energy, very distorted, and simply perpetuates the lower vibratory trajectory. You and I were here to elevate. And so when it says enlightenment, we had this the other day, pursue spiritual growth. I mean, what else are we here for if not for spiritual growth? Well, we're here to have some fun in this planetary realm. Good food, good times, good company, good vibes, good lives. Okay, so let's see if we can get one more card here from the Mystical Wisdom Oracle. Yeah. Archangel Raphael, provider of healing for mind, body, and spirit. Archangel Raphael governs the heart space. And you see the thumbnail that I shared for this, the tree of life, and a human placenta. And here we see the tree of life growing within this goddess energy, this, well, angelic energy, if you will. And our visions are overseen here. Our missions are overseen and divinely protected. And then I'm really being guided here today. Do you see those little, are they unicorns or horses? Regardless of what they are, one looks like a stallion and a mare. A stallion and a mare. Is that what they're called? I know the stallions are the male. I think a stallion and a mare. But that's what I'm feeling down there with those two white horses. And then the butterfly on the shoulder. It's like riding free. The purity of our heart sets us free. And we are no longer limited by our thoughts. This is full, total healing, total transformation. And so for those who don't work with Archangel Raphael, the green ray. But what I'm really guided here today is like the peacock energy on the headspace, you know, and that was that enlightenment card, right? There was the enlightenment card and the peacock. Seek knowledge. Yeah, where do you get your knowledge? I mean, it's great to read books. It's great to read books. The most sacred text is written inside of you. We are the readers of sacred text, forgotten languages, the language of love. I know, I'm ridiculous, but you know what? I'm pretty awesome. So, I really like that. And this, look, it's all healing, right? Connection's meant to be healing. Whew. Right? Healing connections, embracing our sensuality, movement, right? Flirting with life. We were told earlier in this week to flirt with life. Express your sensuality. Express yourself. Express yourself. You are wise and wonderful beyond belief. You are here to ride like the stallion, the stallion or the mare that you are, to your own personal freedom, living freely with ease from your heart, co-creating with the divine, getting beyond the illusions of the mind. Embrace the truth, your truth. Don't turn away from it. Don't dam up all your feelings. They're the best part of you. Everybody thinks, oh, their face or their eyes or their ass or their boobs or whatever are the great parts of them. Sorry, not true. It's your heart. And then maybe your mind. And then maybe your ass. I don't know. I don't know. Right? What are the best parts of you? The best parts of me are my heart. Right? And then my mind and, you know, the other stuff, it's kind of, you know, not really gone by the wayside, but you know what I mean? Like, what is the truth of you? I'll tell you, you're going to have to work yourself through it, though. Milos is spleen. Oh, I love you. Well, maybe it's my spine that's the best part of me. I'm not sure. If we're going for internal organs, Milos, that's funny, my spleen. So, where was I? Shoot. Yeah, so where we were is I was going to tell you what the best part of you was. You're going to have to work yourself through it, though, because you probably won't believe me, or you may not believe me. I really hope you do, though, because I am telling the truth. Cross my heart with the awareness that one day this body is going to die. It's your beautiful heart that's amazing. It's that playful child inside of you, creative and fun, zest for life, adventurous, knowing that they are worthy and deserving of. I'm just seeing like a little flower girl, like walking and spreading, like throwing flowers everywhere. wishes and dreams coming true. Milos, you gotta stop. Stop. Milos is now telling me his pancreas is pretty hot. Like, that's amazing. You are amazing, Milos. I love your energy. My rings ringing off the rails. My ears ringing off the rails right now. And yeah, do you believe in fairy tales? 10010. Sacred reset. Ready, set, go. Trust what you know. And look at all that support. And it's like, sometimes we get lost in the delusions, we get lost in the head space. And it's not until we come back to the heart space that we really begin to, if we're really lucky, and if we're really courageous, and if we have the audacity to be who we are, I feel like life is just amazing. And it's a choice. And I choose love. And I choose Lisa every single day. And I encourage that little girl within me. Here she is at 3 to come out and play. Look at her. She's just adorable, right? Friggin' lights up a space. And we all do that. And so thank you all for lighting up, showing up in my life, shining your radiance, and sharing time and space with me here today. I will be back with you tomorrow night. What is tomorrow? I'm so confused. Friday. So yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow night. I may do it during the day and just leave the night free. I know my son said he was going to play hockey tomorrow night, so you never know. I might go watch my boy play hockey. I haven't done that in a while either. So everyone, I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope some of this foolishness here has resonated with you. And Milos, I thank you so much for holding space here today, being the complementary energy of the masculine to the feminine. I'm grateful. And thank you for your silliness. I like a good laugh. I like a good laugh. Speaking of, I won't go and find it, but I'll show you one day. Anyways, we'll be back here tomorrow at some point in time. Stay tuned. It'll either be at this time, 12:21, if I'm not going to come live in the evening. So if you don't see me at 12:21, you'll see me sometime tomorrow night. And until then, I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you celebrate this rebirth in every way, and go for your dreams. Only you can make. It's not make believe. It's not make believe. It's only make believe. It's not make believe. If you remember, you are a seed of source who came here to sow seeds of love and live a life beyond your wildest dreams. Very few have the courage to go for it. You and I, we got the courage. All of you here have the courage. And for that, I thank you. New earth, here we come. New life, protected and fun, abundant, prosperous, healing. Oh gosh, I'm just so in love with life. Until next time, everyone, I see you, I feel you, I love you. Get out there and live your best life. And I hope you experience some delight in your life today. Now, the left ear is going crazy. Balance. Incoming messages. I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.